Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are. It's your boy Goke Taiwo. Welcome to Naija Commandos for Life. Today we have some three distinguished guests, our brothers from the same army headquarters, Nigerian Military School brothers who are now called ex-boys. I've known two of them for over 30 years. My very good friends, always rolling with them, and the other one is my cousin. We've known each other since we were babies. So it's a pleasure rolling with ex-boys all the time in Nigeria and everywhere whenever I'm rolling. So it's good to have. This is the 10th edition of recording since we started Naija Commandos for Life. So we're in the 2 digits right now, and it's good to have our first set of schools different from Command Secondary School in Baja. So if I take it away.
Good evening, brothers. First, want to appreciate you guys for making time to be at this interview. My name is Ifedapo Olowe. Finished in 1988, Flying North South Command Secondary School in Baja, Lagos. Actually, this is the first time we're having a group from another school, like Goke.
Yes.
Nigerian Military School. So I'll start by introducing, let's start with the most senior guy, Soki Lawson, Bravo Company, set of 83. Am I doing that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we have my homeboy here, my hometown boy from Atlanta, KJ Kyle Dumade.
Oh yeah.
Set of 85, Alpha Company.
Nice.
So we have Mark
Yes.
Hawker,
Yo,
Charlie Company, set of 85 too. Welcome to the show, brothers.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
So this is how we're gonna really run it. So, again, I'll keep following the protocols for this particular episode. Mr. Lawson, we want you
Yes,
to
sir.
start by introducing yourself, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me here. Like you said earlier, my name is Soki Lawson, set of 83, Nigerian Military School, Bravo Company. Finished as what you would call a prefect, but I finished as a drum major for the school. My final year. Went on to study in University of Lagos, Computer Science, and went on to be a banker. Now a businessman, more into education, consulting, and financial consulting for now. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right, thank you. KJ,
My name is Kayode Odumade. They call me KJ because my dad is Kayode also. So KJ stands for Kayode Junior. I went NMS 85 Alpha Company. I left as a private. I went to Ahmadu Bello University to study economics, and from there I went into banking full time. Then I now moved to Atlanta. I write books. I have 2 books on Amazon.
Wow.
I work with IT company, and basically that's me. For my spare time, I write books, and I also have a short. I have a short movie though. I did it for my church, so that's.
you have a movie.
It's a short one.
Okay, it's a script. Okay, I gotta check that out.
Yes, we have to check it out.
All right, Mr. Marco, is this still there?
Mark. Yeah.
Okay, Johan.
Yeah, my name is Mark Okwo, NMS 85. I went to University of Ibadan. I studied economics. I left Nigeria in 1999 in the UK for 20 years. Global experience in banking. Back in Nigeria 4 years. I'm into investments. I'm a financial advisor.
Thank you. So I will ask the question again. So since NMS was an all-boys school, do you guys miss having a co-ed? If you go back, would you have preferred to be in a co-ed format all those 5 years? Mr. Lawson?
Nah, we wouldn't change anything about NMS. That's for me. I don't know about others, but I'm sure I speak for everyone. Yeah, it was just fantastic the way it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moreover, girls would never have been able to cope for 2 days in NMS.
But they have AFMS girls now in Jos now, because there's AFMS boys.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Trust me. The Air Force don't train as hard as the Army.
So the way you guys speak so highly of NMS, it seems right now, if you go back 30 years ago, 35 years ago, you won't mind sending your kids to NMS.
Yes, if you go back 35 years ago, yes.
NMS.
And none of your kids are going there right now.
Well, not right now. No, not right now. The world is changed now. The world is changed. You know, in fact, actually, before I left Nigeria to go to the UK, I went to NMS now to just go and see NMS for the last time, just before I left. I drove from Lagos to Abuja to KD to Zaria. You know, it's a different world. So it's like the world is dynamic now. People are looking at being global citizens.
No, but is it because back then it was military regime, so being in NMS...
Yeah, there was a lot of funding and all those. I mean, when we're in the NMS, we get paid. I'm sure they don't do that again. They pay us monthly.
Hold on, back it up. What do you mean you get paid as students?
Yeah, they got paid. Yeah,
they got paid us like salaries.
They pay salary every month from 1 to 4.
For what now? What are you getting paid for?
Yeah, boys soldiers.
They're soldiers now. They're soldiers. They're boy soldiers.
Okay, no. Back it up. What are you getting paid for? What did you do for the army? I'm confused. You don't tell me something.
Training. We have trainings, right? We shoot guns.
We were trained like full soldiers. We came out immediately. You graduate from NMS, you become a soldier.
You joined
the army. So it's like training.
You guys were close to Army Depot where they train enlisted soldiers too. Now it was in the same area.
Yes. Yes.
So if I may ask, how much were you getting paid then a month?
I can't even remember.
I remember it was like 20 naira or something like that, but it was huge. I remember with that 20 naira, I could buy suya 20 times.
That's true. I remember what that was back in the days, man.
There was no difference between a rich man's child and a poor man's child because we all get paid.
NMS,
yeah, we all get paid.
So, all right. So I just want to say something. The first time, so KJ is my cousin, has always been coming to my cribs, and I met Soki in 1990. So the first time KJ met Soki in my house is I have to give that story, which is hilarious. So my brother was there. Right? My brother who went to Command is in Toronto. So all of a sudden, I think who was there first? KJ, was it you that was in my house first, or was it Soki?
I think I was in your house first when Soki came in.
Yeah,
when
Soki walked in to my house. Can you just stop? So my brother was like, what's happening here? When KJ stood up and like went to attention and stuff. Well, like, what's happening here? Then he was like, Soki's my senior. He went to NMS. I was like, what's it? He was like, 88. I was like, they don't talk the whole time. Soki was just KJ that is always like, talking and KJ was just quiet. Well, like, what's happening? And stuff like that. It's very Soki like, just like, that senior was wicked. He was wicked. The fear was there. We were laughing and stuff like that before we all became cool and stuff like that. But that first day in my house in 1990 or 91 was hilarious. The way KJ jumped up, I was so scared of Soki, and Soki just came in like a military officer. Like, what's happening? Yeah.
You know what's happening is that normally wicked seniors are usually black. Soki was light skinned. And so wicked. So you're wondering because you look at him like a privileged person. It's like
I used to protect KJ. KJ was always
too wicked. I know you're too wicked.
Wait.
I protect KJ. Below KJ, below Soki always complained that Soki used to kill them when he was. He used to kill them.
Now,
guys, wait.
Wait, let me ask Marco.
Wait. Loki.
Yes.
You win.
For me, it was different.
No. This one, let's get to the fun part now. Let's put the structure on it. Loki, tell us how you be for yourself. What's happened?
I was a really nice guy.
No.
Okay, let me share a bit.
So okay, let me just finish up before you said. Soki is married to a commando, so he's married to a command secondary school. Set, Kemi Asa. Now,
yes.
The brother was in my set. Jide.
Jide.
He was in my set. Yeah, octopus out.
Yes,
all right.
Continue.
So for me,
go back. Tell us all that nice stuff you did in school.
Yeah, those nice stuff. I took the path of
nasty.
No, nice. I took the path of being a provost, and that's being a disciplinarian. And unfortunately, the way things come up in NMS, you have to be slightly, you have to be a bit strict and a bit tough. So sometimes I show this facade on one side, but people like KJ were not my targets. People like Marco were the good guys. All the good guys were all my guys. So the people that will complain about me, they know themselves. People like tell me, Marco.
Yeah, it's so key. No, let me tell you now. Soki was like a fine boy.
Wait, Marco, wait now. Marco, we go get to you now. We go get to you. Let's Soki finish your own escapade.
Okay. So I was usually very tough on stubborn students. I know that about me, and especially all this. Some of these. Tunji, what was that his name again?
Olawande.
Olawande, I was in London.
I call him Akon, so that's why I can't remember his name anymore. He was so close to them. Aminu Akilu, all of them. So they were always having issues with me, and everybody now thought I was a hard man and all that. But really, those are all. I was always tough on stubborn. I like stubborn people. I don't know why. Once you are stubborn, you will find it tough with me. And I went on even into banking. I was like that.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
You're saying all this good stuff. Did you do any crazy things in NMS? What did you do that were crazy, out of the ordinary? That was that you broke the rules. We're many like that now. We're many like that.
Exactly. So I wasn't a rule breaker.
Tell us about your bush camp experience, because I know I've heard it from you guys a lot. A lot of people are not aware of your bush camp. That you guys, I think you did from 2 to 4 or something.
3 to
5. 3 to 5 then. I don't know what
3 to 5. Okay, so how was it? You guys, they took you across the country to go and do military exercises and stuff, right?
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. You just set up a camp. Yeah, we cleared the bushes. I'm talking like, let me use places that you might know. Maybe somewhere in between, the way you see between Lagos and Ibadan 20 years ago, the way it was bushy and all that. We just go into one corner there with a tractor, clear the bushes, just in the middle of the bush. They want to make sure we can't get out. Yeah, we set up tents and all that. Always by a river. They always make sure it's by a river.
We can shower.
Yeah, so we can take our baths and all that. So that was it.
You guys did what was the thing KJ used to tell me? Mock war with soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Shooting blank bullets.
Yeah, shooting blank bullets, and you must not get caught. I caught one senior during my time. I remember in my Form 4. I caught one senior. What was his name? Forgotten his name.
So when you get caught, what do they do to you if you get caught?
We all of us covered our faces and we beat him up. We beat him a bit until one sergeant came and rescued him from us.
If you are very fortunate to catch a senior that you didn't like, that's
wow. Yeah.
Covered our faces and we beat him. Seriously, that night.
So that you resume back, he cannot catch you.
No, he didn't know.
Who it is now.
He won't know. It's always in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's always in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's always dark.
Oh, so you guys do your bush camp. That's when you guys start the mock war, right?
Yeah, that's
Let me tell you, man.
That's when we finish bush camp.
That's the last piece.
Let me tell you. There were some seniors. If I was in that kind of scenario, I don't think they would have lived though. They would have lived. those guys tortured me. I'm still haunted.
Yes, bro.
You were telling me about KJ once about Yemi Ajayi that he was shooting and the gun went continuously. You remember that story you were telling me?
I can't remember, but I don't
You are telling me now that because you know me and Yemi are friends now. That was your mate. Eh?
That happens a lot.
Okay, let's move on to KJ. So KJ, you have the floor. Tell us your experiences.
For me, NMS was a very good training ground. Just like Soki said, for some of us were stubborn, actually very stubborn, because my dad was in the military. So, and my dad used to be in the same compound with NMS. His office was somewhere there. So I felt like, at times, why should I get punished? Why should I, my dad was in the military, that kind of thing now. So I always like to play pranks and, dodge, and, dodging was good. Because we had to dodge. Because seniors were just, when I got into NMS, seniors were wicked for no reason. Even there's a part that the Bible says that some people are out. Some people wake up to commit evil. Some seniors are just evil. I'm serious.
The guy they won't quote scriptures.
KJ, tell them the story about the one that they wanted to catch you and one guy in 4-4 that you guys went up the tree together. That's still hilarious.
That was during bush camp in Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt.
So what I'm just saying is that for me, seniors were giving me, maybe because my dad was a military officer within that premises, so they were like getting on my nerves. So the best thing for me was always dodge. Once I can get something, I'm sneaking out of school. I'm running out of school. Am I just going to like Sabungeri, just go hang out there? I'm not even going home or something, So, but it was, they were just, like I said, they were just planning to do evil. They were just wicked for no reason. And when I became a senior, you can ask many people, I didn't really have time for them because I knew what punishment was. Because if I'm fortunate to be caught, I'm going to be in trouble. So the best thing is for me to be like invisible most times, just dodging.
So hold on, you didn't break any rules?
Well, that time sneaking out, was it really? Everybody sneaks out now, so it's like
everybody sneaks out.
Loki didn't sneak out too. Loki is a good boy.
Who, Soki?
Loki don't sneak out now.
No, Soki might we don't count sneaking out as breaking the rule. Soki goes to Bonds Villa to buy bonds and all those things. All those things, sneaking out is not.
If I tell you I've never been to Bonds Villa, you won't believe.
Oh, really?
I've joined somebody in daytime to Bonds Villa, but I've not gone there in the night the way guys do it. I'm telling you, you won't believe. I never did that thing.
Everything like that.
Because I used to see my mother's face.
That is something I used to see my popsi's face. I could not be suspended from command.
Because the day they say okay, you are suspended, I should go back home. Forget it. I'm going into the river.
All right. We go like
anyway, my mom was a military officer, so you can imagine.
Oh, okay.
She had the best backhand slap.
Let me tell you what Goke was talking about. During the bush camp in Port Harcourt, I had a senior. He's an officer now. He was a year my senior. He was a provost in my form. He was a provost. We were in the same house. So there was trouble. The next thing. He was a year my senior. I was in Form 3. That was my first bush camp, right? So we both dodged. And guess where we found ourselves on the tree? I climbed the tree and I found him there. Dodging the same person. And I was not telling me I should get up of the tree. And I was like, get out of the tree. I was dodging the same person. And I was like, I was like, somebody catches us, maybe from 5 student catches us, and it's a Form 3 and a Form 4 student working together. That's an embarrassment. He's going to be in trouble. So me, I must sacrifice myself. I say, Oga, I'm not coming down. If you're going to punish me on this tree, I would rather serve your punishment alone on this tree. I'm going to meet the wolves downstairs, down there. Oh
my God.
So did he punish you after that? After the stuff, did he punish you when you guys got back to Zaria?
He didn't punish me because they didn't catch us. So we are both.
Wow.
I'd rather serve his punishment than go down, get off the tree, and the wolves downstairs, the evil people, the wolves.
Let me put it this way. The bush camps were like Vegas. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You can't carry it back to school. That was a good thing. Right. Yeah. Whatever happened there, we just had this. It's not a written rule, but it was. It's ethical. It's more ethical. It's more ethical to just leave it there because sometimes things happen. I know that's one place where a lot of juniors have had issues with seniors where they even fought and they got back to school and it just ended. Right. You know, so
man, I would have loved that bush camp. I would have lost it. But I'll tell you, I would have been stalking certain seniors the whole night.
remember that we stay in the bush. There are mosquitoes. That's the fun part, you know. It's a hell of 3 weeks. It's a very tough 3 weeks.
Wow. Tough.
All right. So is it first time? Is it always in first time?
Yes.
Or second time or third time?
The first time.
I remember.
First time of each.
November.
Okay, that's
time.
And it's held in different states. You know, I think
we went to Rivers State, Bauchi, and
Oyo State.
So then
I went to Zaria. Yeah.
You guys leave Zaria to go to those states?
By train.
Yes.
By train. By train.
Yeah.
Man, I miss out for Commando. I go now, but that's where I go.
Let me tell you the exciting thing about it. Let me tell you the most exciting part of the camp. We load up everything we need or we use. We go with our boats for the watermanship. That's metal boats, very heavy boats that it needs about 20-30 students to carry at the time. And we go with about maybe 20 of such boats. We go with all the tents. We go with all the poles, the nails, everything you're going to use to put up those tents. And guess what? They will make sure all the tents and all the boats are unloaded and offloaded by students. So you will do it yourself. They're not going to do it for you. We'll do everything. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun when you're doing it.
So how did you feel how did each of you feel the first year in your Form 3s for bush camp?
It's exciting because that's the first time. I think bush camp is the first time you fire live ammo. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. We usually fire blanks, but bush camp is the first time you go for a live range. They will take you to the range where you start to shoot live ammo, meaning that you will do it in your Form 3, in your Form 4, and your Form 5. So you shoot live ammo. Yeah.
Man, I become a job before I become American before I started to shoot. Now, yeah, wow.
I remember my first experience. There was this classmate of mine who was shooting right next to me inside a ditch. They put us in the ditch where you now face trench, where you now face the target. So I think at one point he was shooting and his rifle jammed. So he was trying to cock it and he wasn't cocking, and he now took that rifle, faced the sergeant at the back and said, "Sir." Everybody behind us took off. but they beat Shaggy out of him that day.
But the government is supposed to teach you that you're not supposed to point gun. You're supposed to turn it upside down.
The guy didn't know. He just took the gun and faced the guy. Said, "Sir, it's not cooking." The guy just took off.
All right. Let's move to Mr. Marco. Let's give him the floor.
Yeah, you can start the story about how you got into NMS.
Because I think how I got into NMS actually played a role because I was probably perceived as a quiet, good guy. NMS.
Butter boy.
In my junior days, so I was also meant to be in NMS. And since speaking, so what happened was, NMS exams were done in this Air Force Secondary School in VI. So my dad just sent a driver, dropped me and my brother there. We didn't even buy the forms at all. So they now said there's only one form left, and everyone was scrambling for it. Then they now said, "Who are these two guys? Where are their parents? They're not there. They just who's all there?" That's how they pointed to me. We paid for it. I sat the exams, passed. While everyone was getting their results, I didn't even know about that. Like a week before I time, I just saw my name in the newspaper. That's how I say using, because normally my name is Ike at home. So I use the name Mark, because that's the name on newspaper. So that's how my dad, we put things together, sharp, 3 days, moved to Zaria, stayed in the hotel in Kaduna, then Zaria itself, all that. Then did the exams, got into NMS. So I never planned for NMS. I was my Form 5. So on the first day NMS, I was like, damn, I'm here, military. When I saw the military barracks, the fear, I was like, damn, I'm going to be a soldier. And so all those things, so it took me a while, to just sort of settle in and all that kind of thing. So I was really perceived as a quiet guy. Didn't really have any issues with so many things, except one or two people like Uche Okeje, Charlie Conney. I was Conney now. So Uche was like, and so Uche, Mudiaga, all those guys, so they were two very in their Form 2, my Form 1. But generally, I was always perceived as someone that just basically flows normally. But NMS, as I said, was a great experience. It teaches you discipline, hard work, it toughens you up. And I think over time you get, we're trained to be like leaders, and those days they were screaming to us, "You are the future leaders." On parade ground, we're standing there like 2, 3, 4 hours, all that kind of thing. It was, really cool, really cool. And again, when we traveled to NMS, we're airliners because we're flying by air from Lagos to KD. So in the uniform, we just walk straight. That's when we walk straight to the top, stood at the top at the plane and everything, and so everyone's like, wow, and you just get proud, and you just being in NMS, and you get that probably from your Form 2, Form 3, and become a lord, senior boy, and all that kind of. That was my experience at NMS.
So nothing crazy. You didn't do anything crazy?
Nothing really crazy like that, but
apart from going to Bakori.
Well, of course. But I was
what's Bakori? What's that?
No, let's not tell them that.
I know what Bakori is.
Come on.
I've worked with them enough to know all this stuff.
Let me tell you. Go King. I think I know what's going on here. These guys have met before they came on this show.
No, they have.
The timing.
We used to out in the 90s. All of us and some other ex-boys. So I think with them. So that's why I know a lot of the stunts that they pulled. My cousin and all the other ex-boys.
They came from you. They came from you. Yes.
No.
They say we go command secondary school.
No. If you know Ogasoki here. That one is on a different level. We've been through a lot of shit together. So I can tell you in the 90s, you understand? When he flashes that Nigerian Army military ID or KJ one day that was driving on backwards on a one-way road. You know that day in Maryland, right? And that the police now surrounded us. And KJ just looked at them, who are this one? And they now say, "You're driving on wrong. KJ just pulled my car. We own this country."
So I guess this is my question, right?
Those days, I was like, KJ.
Yeah. So this is my question for you guys. Right? So since you guys were being molded to become military personnel.
Yeah.
So what happened? Where do you guys decide that you're not going to go through with?
Well, most times I think maybe the NDA exams, like most of us end up sitting for that NDA exam, and not everybody goes in and all that. So at that point, most of us just decide, well, if you don't make it, you move on to civilian life and move on. And that's it.
Yeah. And that's what happened. I went for the NDA exam. I was hoping I would be in.
Can you tell that story? No, tell that full story of you in the units and how you went AWOL. But KJ's and Soki's are both funny.
Let me tell the story. Okay, so when we finished NMS, normally when you finish NMS, right, you're gonna join the army, right? So
Yes.
my dad's a family friend of mine put me in this former governor for your state, Oresanya. So he put me in supply and transport. He says like supply and transport that just somewhere. So I was in supply and transport. I was in Apapa. So because they knew that the director of supply and transport was what's the name? The director of supply and transport was my
dad's friend.
My dad's friend. So they were like nice to me. But there was one man that now came in. We call him WO2, right? So the guy was now mean. That kind of thing. Was mean to me. So I went. Fortunately for me, I went for ND interview. When I now came back from ND interview, right?
Yeah.
I was letting all those that were close to him. Here when I come back as an officer after graduating from NDA, I'm coming back to supply and transport. I'm going to deal with him. You understand? So, I was telling my soldier friends, I was like, if you know this W2, let him know that when Lieutenant Kaududmade comes back, I'm joining the supply and transport. I'm going to deal with him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yes.
The morning that the result of NDA came out, peacefully, I went to my unit that day. They said, "Oh, the result was out. We should go to Bonny Camp to check it." In fact, in my unit, I was enjoying because I wasn't doing guard duty. Take a room. I refused to take a room in the barracks because if I take a room in the barracks, I was staying in what's the name? I was staying in Bagada area. So I was going to.
Half of the time when you're supposed to have gone to office, you used to come to my house in your army uniform those days. Come and chill.
Back in the days in Lagos, once you're in army uniform, no matter how small you are, you don't pay transport. It's free transport from Bagada to Apapa. So I was just so that morning when they told us that the result was out that we should go to Bonny Camp, Army headquarters to go check our names. So when I was leaving my unit that day, they were all saluting me. Sir, I was like, God, take care. I'll be back in 5 years. I was saluting all of them. I got to Bonny Camp. I checked my name, Ogun State. I checked it like 5 times. I didn't see my name there. That's the last time I wore a uniform. I left early. I couldn't. Then we thought that friends had made. There was no how I gone back to that barracks.
You came to my house, you're like, oh, they didn't take me in NDO. I'm not going back to that unit anymore. I was just rolling. I can't remember. I was just rolling, laughing seriously about that. I was like,
so Marco, what's stopped you?
Well, I think I wanted to be a naval officer actually, and I was in academy. I went for the interview. But as Soki says now, once you don't make it there, you just know that it's civilian life and everything. But you see, our true colors, sincerely speaking, comes out as KJ was saying when we leave, when we're in the university, when we're living in Lagos now. Like for me, I had army sticker when I was in UI, army sticker in my car, front, back.
Yes, sir.
Parquet was chief security officer. Remember, Parquet was chief security officer to the governor those days in Oyo State. We're always in government house, And so, police can't stop us now. Buying petrol, you're at the top, you just turn back. You're like, who are these guys? And that's where you now see the true colors of the real army training. For most of us, that was the experience.
Yeah.
So, what would you say? How would you say your military background really molded you to who you've become today?
Well, it has in so many ways. Survival, again in the UK is a very, there's a lot of glitter. People don't know what people go through. It's different from America. America is more broad, more acceptable. In the UK, for example, when you're working, a black guy, there's little or no opportunity. But
Yeah.
knowing that you are an ex-boy, a soldier, it's like you are decisive, you show leadership, you're directing things, and you're out there to be the best. That's how we're trained, to be the
Okay.
best. And that's what just keeps us going. And
Yeah.
again, we become mentors for people see, who we are and that kind of direction.
The toughness, the regimented lifestyle.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what about you, Sophie? What do you think?
Well, for me, I went as far as the interview, and I was shortlisted in the final list. I was on reserve. It was one particular classmate of mine that ended in fact, he ended my desire to join the academy.
How was that?
We all arrived. I think I was the only one on reserve. I think I was the only one. Yeah, the other guy didn't show up. So I was the only one for my state on reserve. So when we all, and normally when you're shortlisted like that, you come to the assembly with the all those that have been taken. So I resumed there with them. They all were all in the assembly and all that. And then they put some of us aside and told us that we were the ones on reserve and blah blah blah, which we already knew anyway. And they put us in a quarters where we would stay. Apparently, we're supposed to stay in that quarters for 2 weeks, right? And within those 2 weeks, if anybody takes off, they will call you immediately to come and join in. So we all had our boxes. And
no take off that they quit within 2 weeks. If they quit within 2 weeks.
But they quit. Normally they quit. But let me now tell you what happened. That night, one of my classmates came there. He was already in the academy. He was not in second term. He was in second year. That came there and saw me and said, "Ha, Suki, you are here. Which state?" Who are the people in your state? In fact, he just told one of his friends, "Go and call all the River State people." He now brought all of them to our quarters. Six or seven of them. I started dealing with them. He says, "Okay, you must enter. You must enter academy because I will deal with you." I will deal with you. He now pointed to all the people in my state and said, if you people don't run away, I want all of you to run away because I only want to join. Man, the next morning I just packed my load.
Okay, hold on. I thought it was just a joke.
It was not.
It wasn't a joke.
I know the funniest thing is that the feedback that we now get when we're NMS about our seniors entering academy, who are the ones that made it, who are the ones that didn't make it.
Exactly.
So, because again, like someone like Sokina, who was the provost from 4, all that, there are people that you say, this is a fool, so he must enter. So those kind of things also, it is surprises though, whereby so like someone like Collins Magaji today, for example, he's a garrison commander, compared to where he was when we're NMS, and that kind of experience.
Close their door.
So KJ, what happened to you?
Yeah, I told you what happened to me. I went for an interview like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I went for an interview. I wasn't picked, and that's when I left the army because I'd caused so much trouble.
We're together now. We were there together.
Yes, we are there for that same.
But remember what happened to me now. I was sleeping now. Remember, I was sleeping in the dormitory. I just woke up. I just heard some noise from somewhere. There were some ex-boys who had beaten some civilians. Remember that story?
Ex-boys.
It's long, man.
Yeah, so
in academy.
So some ex-boys in academy now. So we're joining it.
Okay.
Now. So there's some ex-boys who have beaten some civilians, and all those ex-boys took off. As I came out, the guys on my stage are like, "He's one of them. He's one of them." I just woke up. That's how they just banged me, and then 3 or 4 other guys to guard room in the academy.
In the academy, when you are not during interview.
During interview now.
Wow.
Were we in the same batch of interview? Are you sure? Because I can't remember that incident.
In the same batch now. Yeah. The same interview where.
The same interview, Kenny Phillip too now. Kenny Phillip was in your interview.
This happened after medicals. So after medicals, after medicals now, after the guys' medicals are left, there was a big fight in academy. Set. So I don't know whether that actually played a role in me not getting it. But I was named as one of the guys that beat civilians.
Yeah.
They locked us in guard room. They interviewed us. But some people, they asked them to go, but they asked me to go back and continue. So I continued to the end, but never saw my name. But for me, it was mixed feelings because after that experience, I was like, academy, or should I just be a civilian? You know, and that's what worried happened. You know, for me. And
I actually wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be in the military.
Especially for that WO2.
to after you graduated from university to be shortlisted to enter as shortlist officer instead of you guys didn't want to, because the seniority, you guys don't have the same seniority as
no, you have to be a regular combatant.
I couldn't have done that.
You have to be a regular combatant.
KJ, you said what?
I couldn't have done it because I walked out of the military. So even if I'd gone back to the military, I'd already walked out. So my case was different. So the day I walked out,
you were AWOL now.
Career.
Because you were AWOL, right?
Yeah, the day I walked out, that was the end of my military career. So even most of my mates after leaving graduating university, they all went back to the military. Those that maintained it, those that maintained it, but I didn't maintain it.
So I guess the lesson learned here is you have to be humble. You cannot be threatening W2 enlisted people. You had hubris at that time. You were in the interview.
It was giving me too much problem.
Let me make you laugh. Let me make you laugh over one incident that happened. Yes, so I was in this event in Ikeja Cantonment, 9 Brigade. They were having an event at the mess. So a lot of our ex-boys were invited. Not just ex-boys, but a lot of officers, senior officers. In fact, that was one day I felt very, should I say proud, or that was one day I felt the effect of being an ex-boy. I'll call some names, so some of you will remember them. Victor Berrio is a brigadier general now. He was my junior.
Yeah.
The first thing that happened was Victor Berrio shows up, sees me. I was in my kaftan. Civilian man like me, he saluted me. I said, with his ugly behind him. I had to hug him immediately. I said, bros. He saluted me. I said, we have to do this, sir. I said, no. He said, no, he said, okay, no, now.
He's very humble.
But yeah, he said, you're my senior forever. That's what I was, well, we just laughed it up and I hugged him and everything. But as that happened, my own classmate, Mackenzie, shows up. He's a colonel and salutes Victor Berrio, our junior. No, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Another guy who was 3 years our senior but remained in the army. They call him Piccolo. You know Piccolo now, you guys. Some of you know Piccolo. He was an Alpha Company. He was 3 years our senior. He was a W2. He now came there and everybody was just saluting everybody. Yes, and everybody he met there were all his juniors. So I just looked at the whole thing and said, damn, this is some hierarchy. Yeah. And even in our group, I have lieutenant colonels and colonels who don't speak. They can't even say a word. If they want to talk, I have to call them and say, what's going on, how are you there, and everything. It's been a while. Because of all the brigadier generals that are there. Everybody is just separated. And we used to all be classmates, but all of a sudden, there's seniority everywhere. They can't talk.
Absolutely.
Wow. And it's interesting, really. Sometimes you just need to see it happen. You just marvel.
Wow. So this one, I think okay, we should be close to wrapping this up. But I have one more.
Yeah.
I have one more thing for you guys, right? I have one more thing. So
I had a question for Soki to also tell one other story I know about when you were in what's it called? What's that? When you left NMS, what division were you in again? I'm trying to remember. I used to come and pick you up. Ordnance. About what you were telling me about this staff sergeant.
Ordnance as well. Soki, barracks.
In the Yaba.
Yes. I was
going to pick up Soki in the early 90s. Remember when you were telling me about? Remember when you were telling me about the sergeant that
gone blank
to do?
Okay.
Because they knew you were going to do ND exam, they were scared of you too. You remember that story you used to tell me those days?
Yeah, it happens. It's normal. In fact, there was a lot of beef. Not just scared. Some people just had beef.
To ex-boys.
Yeah,
to ex-boys.
Yes. Okay. They have serious beef to ex-boys. It happens everywhere. Even amongst the generals, there is beef.
Of course.
I'm telling you, serious beef.
So, if I will ask you, Marco, who would you say had an impression on you while you were in NMS?
So many.
Just briefly.
My seniors. Well, my master was Aliu Khalil, who I worked for. He was a great guy. Yeah, I worked for Aliu Khalil in my Sultan George as well was also master as well.
You are just having good masters. What kind of?
I remember again my cousin Poludozo as well. Poludozo Alpha was my cousin, and I think he did some groundworks for me initially in my from 2 or some from 1 or from 2 or so.
Okay.
So, but I think I was just generally a likable guy, except one day in Foxtrot Company, they caught me off guard when Dayadeboye and Ishaya. So they got me to somersault. KJ, you remember that story? I don't know if you ever knew that story. I could not somersault. So they were like, who's this NMX boy that could not somersault? That day, they jobbed me for like almost like 4 hours, you know, soaking the lawns and all that kind of thing in my Form 1. You know, but I think coming back to your question, you know, in terms of who made an impression in terms of our seniors, basically, you know, Ayo Bushell, who was, Ayo Bushell as well. I was close to him. Haruna Waziri, Dayajibade, who I'm close to as well. You know, they were very good seniors who basically.
Your mates, who made an impression on you? Who helped you out in your mates and maybe even your junior self?
Well, our mates generally, you know, we all have, but I know, like KJ, we're very close. You know, we used to call ourselves generals. You know, we had this. Now that was always a given. I said to your house, and I remember one incident then where I was driving down in UI, and there was this call boy, who just came. I was trying to chance me before the guy knew it. Now they were soldiers, SSS, picked the guy up. In fact, they locked him up in Gadrum in Ibadan for like 1 week. His parents were looking for us and all that. So those were kind of the experiences that we had, when we left NMS. Basically.
Yeah, that kind of pushes away called boys. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I definitely. Those were called boys now. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember this. I had the same experience to Unilag. When some called boys. Well, they didn't know who I was anyway. It was my first year in Mariri Hall. I wasn't in first year then. What was I? Yeah, I was in first year. I just joined I joined Unilag and they put me in Mariri Hall. And I didn't know that floor where I was loaded with cold boys. So something happened someday and they chanced one of my roommates. I just came back and I saw them manhandling the guy. And I said, what's going on? Why are you guys doing this? Stop it. One of them just pushed me. I said, push me. I said, what the? I now tried to rush him and the guy decked me. In fact, see the deck. I remember he hit me and I sort of almost passed out. Next thing, I woke up maybe after like a minute and I just walked off. This was around 10 a.m. in the morning. By 1 p.m., I was back in my uniform and 3 other soldiers. Oh my God. as I was telling you, that whole floor, none of them showed up for almost 3 weeks. They didn't show up.
You dropped them?
They all took off. They took off. They took off when they saw us. So I think somebody told them as we were entering the reception, they already started sending signals. So we saw a lot of them running away as we got to the passage where we wanted to go and start catching each of them. We came with a pickup. I'm telling you, that day I went to my unit. I went to beg soldiers. Immediately I told one sergeant like this, he told the RS and release vehicle. So they should go and carry all of them and bring them to Gadru. But we didn't get anybody. But after that,
after that incident, nobody touched you.
For where? They came back and one of them pushed a friend of mine, somebody who is close to one commando, Banjokes. Banjokes was also part of them.
By Banjoko.
Yeah, so Banjokes was my friend.
The commando is my mate now.
Yeah, it was a commando. It was.
Okay, they fear you. From that day, they fear you. That's it.
And that was it. They sent him to me. So I said, no problem. That my own is they should not just come near my roommates again. That was it. So since that day, we all lived in peace. Nobody came near my roommates. They just see me and greet me, and I walk past them and I go. That's it. I was fear. I caused a panic that day.
Who will you say helped you, Soki, or you admire as your seniors and your mates when you were in NMS?
No, there were a lot of people I admired, but I know probably what you're trying to say when you asked Mark who made a mark. I look at the most wicked person I ever knew in that school, and it was in Mark's company. His name was Sunday Oka. That guy. And we were from the same state. He said, "Okay, I like you. I like you so much because you're my statey. But come, come and stay under this bed first, because I don't understand you. Stay under the bed. You will now keep me there from Saturday morning or Friday evening till about Sunday morning. You know, so I'll let you go."
Yes. Wait, explain that. You are sitting on that bed from Friday to Sunday.
Yes, I'll leave you under his bed. Then
how are you eating?
He now said, "You know what's okay, I know I've kept you here for too long, I know, but I want to let you go. So just take this bucket, take that teaspoon. So what you have to do, just keep the bucket in front of my room. Go to the bathroom, go and be fetching water with the teaspoon. Whenever the bucket full, you can go."
Oh my God! No way.
That was on Sunday morning. I just started crying.
And I did a lot of crying for months. So, yeah.
Wait, did you have the water? What class are you? Were you for one?
I was in for one then. And this guy says,
he was in what? For 5?
No,
he was in for 5?
He was in Form 3. He was a provost. He was in Form 3 or Form 4. Yeah, he was a provost.
You fetch the water with spoon?
I did though. But I couldn't fetch. I didn't fetch up to 5 before I started crying. I just started crying. I cried for like 30 minutes, and that's how we go away. Some seniors saw me and I think they talked to him and they now left me. But that guy was so wicked. That guy had a very black heart. Very black heart. I didn't understand his own. 1 minute, because in NMS it's an offense for you not to know somebody's name. So I could see Makoko now. Makoko would just call me and say, "Come here. What's my name?" I'll say Senior Mark. He'll say, "My name is Senior Mark Goat, Abi." Because I need to know his name, his first name, his surname, and in most cases they will ask you for their number. You need to know their number, their names, and their surname. In fact, in NMS, in my Form 1 and 2, I knew everybody above me by name and surname. I can tell you that almost 500 students, I could easily, all the wicked ones especially, I knew their names and surnames. So, but I didn't know most. But in my company, I knew even to their numbers. Even till today, I still remember some seniors and their numbers. I know their NMS number. So,
yeah. It used to be 3 before those that.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But my set is 4 numbers.
So KJ, who you say had an impression on you?
In NMS.
Mm-hmm. Good or bad?
And see, NMS was really a tough school at times. When Goki is asking me things, Mark said this, Soki said this, ask him, I didn't respond to it because NMS was something that at times you want to put behind you, No, I liked the association, right? I liked the status, ex-boy, everything. But it takes a lot to be an ex-boy. That's the fact. At times you have to cry almost all night, just like Soki said. You will cry. The first day, my Form 1, I cried. In fact, when I had my first child, he was always crying, so I knew that he got it from me because I was.
You're taking your pay from NMS.
You understand? So it was left to me. Like Python that he mentioned. You won't believe that me and Python are now very close friends. Every time he comes to Atlanta, we hang out.
How many years was he a senior? How many years?
We met him in our Form 1 now. We met some in our Form 1, right?
As in,
because it was KJ's master.
The advantage we had was that he was in Alpha company, so I knew him from afar. I didn't really feel the impact of his wickedness, but everybody says he's wicked, I knew him from afar. And you won't believe we were so close. I have his phone number now. We talk.
KJ, how many years was he a senior? Was he from 5 when you were from 1 or what?
I can't even remember.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there are some names that You know, there are some names like Will Smith that has been Will Smith. So that name Python has been very long that it has refused to leave my brain though. You know, so there are some names that have just stayed, they have refused to leave. You know those kind of names. So Python was that kind of person. But you know,
did you guys know anything about our provost shifting? My set.
No, we heard about it, sir. We heard about it.
Did you know it was the worst? I'm sure it was the worst.
What's a provost shift? Is it moving from one class to another class, right?
No, it's an initiation.
Initiation for four
provosts.
Okay,
yes,
explain that.
Well, the provost corps is like I wouldn't say it's a cult, but it's the core of disciplinarians. Like when you're trying to, it's supposed to bring you some kind of respect somehow. You know, like most times when your mates are serving punishment and all that, you don't join them. What kind of thing? We are the disciplinarians of every house. So every house used to have 4 of us, 4 provosts. Now Sondeoka. Then I asked that question because of Sondeoka. Sondeoka has always been on my case because I'm a statey. Anywhere he sees me, it makes it look like I'm his friend and all that. When he needs milk and sugar, he will send his boy to my room. I will give the boy. I'm always trying to impress Sondeoka. All my years that Sondeoka was in that school, I tried because he was my statey and he was always on my case and kept saying things like, "You're not tough, you're not this, that's why I'm dealing with you. You keep dealing with me for any." It punishes me all the time. Now, provost shifting came. Normally provost shifting, because the school was trying to, sort of over the years reduced those things. So most times provost shifting was meant to start maybe like 10 p.m. at night and end at 12 midnight. Do you understand? It's punishment, it's pure punishment, flogging, beating, So ours started 7 p.m. I was in the dining hall eating my dinner from around 6:30. One guy from Charlie Company came and sat beside me. And I know this guy was their PM. I looked at him, we were just sitting there and I just kept eating. I greeted him, "Good day, sir." And I kept eating and next thing he called somebody else. He called, I think, was it Mackenzie? Yeah, Mackenzie, sit beside Soke. Then he called one other person, the third provost, Yusuf, sit beside him. They had finished eating. I was still the one eating, so I now finished it and I wanted to go wash my plate, so I leave that plate. He now came, just carried all of us, took us straight to Sondeoka's room. That was where it started. By the time I got to Sondeoka's room, by 8 p.m., they moved us into the bathroom of Charlie Company. That's where I saw every other person from the old school. What I'm just trying to say is that Sondeoka took charge of our shifting. You won't believe that this guy didn't. He started from the Charlie Company bathroom, flogging, beating, slaps, kicks, constantly till about 12 midnight. From 12 midnight, they moved us to Foxtrot Company. It continued there. All those provosts in Foxtrot Company took over. They were beating, kicking, slapping, like constant. And Sondeoka followed us because I was in that group. After that, they moved my team again to, I think, Delta Company. I think it was Delta Company. Before they now released, they released us around 4 in the morning because they needed us to go take our bath, freshen up, and prepare for the school to receive us first thing that morning. So of course we didn't sleep.
Now they unleashed Soki to us.
Oh my God.
No, 1991 when KJ saw you in my house, he was scared.
That day I came out like a lion looking for a meal.
Alright, okay. Yeah, I think we're here for about 1 hour 30 minutes.
Okay.
Wrap this up.
It was great.
This is fun. So gentlemen, ex-boys, and Nigerian military school guys, thank you very much for honoring our invitation to be on this platform, Commandos for Life, hearing your experiences and comparing it to what we went through in command, which was minimal.
Yes, but you guys have to have another session where we will hear everything about yours too.
Of course.
Oh, we can bring you back. We suffer. We suffered a bit, but your own, when they keep you under bed from Friday to, I don't think anybody stayed from Friday to Sunday under somebody's bed. They suspend that.
Can you imagine that your parents come with provision? You are happy that my parents came to visit me on visiting day. your provision. Somebody is saying,
And they seize the provision.
This is your provision.
I see your provision.
In front of your father.
Take it straight to his room.
Are you serious?
They
Yes.
seize the provision.
And you can't do anything. Your father cannot do
can't do
anything.
What will you do? You will even tell your mother, no, thank you, don't worry, it's okay, Daddy, it's okay.
You guys must have cried a lot of buckets of tears.
Oh my God.
That's the beauty about the school. It toughens you.
It toughens you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So thank you, gentlemen, for joining this platform. You know, I've heard most of these stories from you guys and other ex-boys that I know. And especially in the 90s, I used to hang out with ex-boys a lot, so I knew about these stories from you guys. I used to laugh and go, "Damn, you all suffered a lot," you know, more than Commandos. But it's been a pleasure hearing your experiences and laughing about it and seeing how it has evolved you guys to be tough men. To evolve, to be able to be self-motivated and kind of move into being your own man as you move along. So it's been thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we can bring you guys back and also bring maybe other ex-boys come and talk about their experiences too, and you know, to be able to motivate the current NMS guys in there that look, with all that crying, the 21 buckets you cry in each eye, it will be better in the future. It will be better in the future when you get older and stuff. So that's the thing that toughens you when you go to military schools. You understand? You become tougher. You can withstand anything, and people cannot take advantage of you. So it's a thing, you know. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I thought I had it rough in command. Just listening to you guys, I'm just like, okay, all right, I should just be quiet from now on. I'm like, okay. Hey, Soki, KJ,
yes, sir.
Marco, we appreciate you guys a lot. So remember,
thanks for having us.
The video, this edition should be coming out in about a week or two.
No, last week I'm still editing it, and I have to finish that. This is the 10th one. Within 2 to 3 weeks, right? 2 to 3 weeks.
So remember, just subscribe, share, like, spread the word to. We like to have more ex-boys come on this show. You guys have been so much fun. I mean, we could be all night. Thank you again.
Send your pictures of when you guys were in NMS, so I can add that to stuff, so you can see how you guys looked at. I think Soki, you sent me one picture one time when you were in Provost leading drum boy stuff. So let me have that one again. That would be cool.
Okay, I'll look out for some.
Mark too, send me.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, KJ.
Yeah.
Let's hook up in Afata sometimes, man. All right.
Okay, I'll get your contact from Goke. Thanks.
Yeah, please. No problem.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Listen.
All the way.
Send me to Senior Kemi, our fellow commando.
She will hear. Just leave me and Marco in Lagos. We are going to settle our differences.
So we have to catch up now.
How? Is that a 30,000 naira?
You're going to job Marco in Banana Island now.
Of course.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, cheers. All right.